don't want our listeners to think that we're low budget. It's a lumpy pillow as well. You know, like one of the really shit ones that you've had for years.
They're probably stained.
It's horrible. But it's like the one that you never use. It's their last resort when you need to be fully propped up. And the one that I'll occasionally cuddle. It's one I'll occasionally spoon when I'm by myself. Because it's lumpy.
Are you fucking this pillow?
No, I'm not fucking a pillow. I'm just saying it's like.
Hey up everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Porra Podcast.
Hey up.
My name's Will, with me as ever is Eddie, the happening to my split.
What?
You not get that one?
No.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan reference.
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Explain.
The Happening is a film by M. Night.
The Happening, as in the one with
The world's worst film.
the greatest horror film ever.
The
With
world's worst
Marky
film.
Mark.
Marky Mark.
And it's Killer Wind.
Yes, apparently staring into the distance is killing people as well as the wind.
They're
yes.
running away from a slight breeze.
From
Yeah.
air.
Great
Oh
film.
my god, there's air is coming here.
Great film, man.
And I Am Split, arguably his best film.
Okay.
It was a
Speaking
diss.
my language.
It was a diss.
Oh, well, fuck you. Fuck you then.
So we just want to prefix this a little bit. We are recording a couple of weeks in advance, actually, from when this episode's released. So, you know, a lot of what we say could be ridiculously out of date by the time you hear this. So don't mention Johnny Depp. Don't mention the Pope. Who else is in the news at the moment?
I like the Pope story, though.
The Pope. I fail to see why the Pope has got Instagram.
Well, it's just like 21st century, isn't it? Like, how do you speak to your flock? Back in the day, you had to beckon them all to a hill, and now he's got Instagram, hasn't he?
Does he have TikTok?
Well, I don't think he's got Instagram, though. It's not like him, is it?
Yeah, no, probably not. Anyone his age struggles to use a toaster, let alone a fucking phone.
But I do like the idea that he's been thirst trapped by some sexy lady on Instagram, and he's accidentally liked it, and then had to recant it. Because that fucking happens. Like, if you not liked a photo that you weren't supposed to and you
entirely.
instantly take it back, and it's like too late. It's already been seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like,
Old Popey is.
it just begs the question: like, who's he actually following though in this whole situation? Who would the Pope follow on Instagram?
I think, from clearly he's following some of the Suicide Girls or whoever it was that he liked that was like half naked. It's kind of weird though. This is the Catholic Church we're talking about, right?
Oh God!
Weird
yeah.
it wasn't a little boy.
I mean, it would have been apt if it was a little boy, but would it have even creeped people out anymore? Everyone knows the Catholic Church just rapes kids.
Well, I don't think. Wow.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. They rape children.
We need to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this.
I'm pretty sure we have a disclaimer at the start of all of them.
That's gone dark. Does the Pope fuck kids?
Well, the Catholic Church does.
Does a bear shit in the woods? No, I think it's just kind of funny that, yeah, whoever it is, he's clearly got like a social media guy. You know, just some fucking kind of like Christian as fuck intern.
But so does he have to be Christian?
Well, absolutely. That's got to be on his CV, right? Like, how much do you love God? I love God.
Oh, he likes God.
So he's, yeah, I mean, that's already top of his CV.
How old are you?
And oh yeah, fucking this poor kid got buggered to get the position. No, I don't think the Pope fucks kids. I just think a lot of his church does.
Oh, the Pope has definitely had his fair share of diddling in the past, surely.
He wouldn't have got to where he is now without a good bit of diddling. It's like the Illuminati thing, you know, like they've all done something so heinous, it keeps you within a certain circle.
Oh, you're talking about Pigfucker Cameron now.
Pigfucker Cameron, everybody, Weinstein, it's all the fucking same. And so the Pope,
Careful, we're starting to sound like Alex Jones here on this fucking podcast right now. Okay, what do you think that lass who he liked, is she going into heaven now? Is that like getting blessed by the Pope, essentially?
Well, yeah, that's what she said. She said, like, she came out and said, I feel honoured, I feel blessed that the Pope is liking my images, and it must mean that I'm going to heaven. But I'm sorry, love, the reality is, it's just some fucking pubescent intern who's making $6 an hour at best, who's accidentally switched from his own personal account to Popey McPopeface. What's his handle?
Oh, fuck knows.
I'm going to follow the Pope after this. Who's like, I don't know, forgotten to switch his account, forgotten to switch back, and liked some sexy lady's photo.
Well, each to their own, I guess.
I mean, yeah, as long as your own isn't little boys. Then not each to your own. It's a fucking naughty thing. Stop it.
Well, on that note, I guess it's time to get cracking with this.
Well, also, I think we should just make it abundantly clear that we're not like anti-Catholic.
Are we not?
Well, we're anti most things. It's not the Catholics per se. It's more religion.
Okay, yeah. As a broad generalisation, we don't really like anyone here.
What? Anybody?
Oh, is that what we're trying to say?
I like people.
People are overrated.
I like you.
Oh, cheers, man.
You're welcome.
Moving on. Yeah, get cracking. So, Ed, your homework this week was to watch the 1981 original, The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
I friggin' loved it.
Did you actually?
I loved it.
Mate, go on.
Yeah, no, this was...
Before you get into this, we don't act like we watch the film together, but we actually try not to talk about it straight afterwards, like, because we want to save these reactions to being live between the two of us right now. Like, you loved the film.
It's really annoying, actually. As soon as we finish, we're like, well,
go to your room.
Don't talk too much, because we'll have nothing to fucking talk about when we get on our podcast. But yeah, no, I really liked it. I thought it was...
Sick.
I mean, it was old, it was stupid, the dialogue was crap, the fucking... everyone just looked like 80s porn stars, and the makeup and everything was just like so old and rudimental, but it was badass. I really liked it.
Nice. Well, as ever, let's put our spoiler warning in right now.
Nothing says spoiler alert like the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
So The Evil Dead is it's a film about 5 mates who go to a deserted cabin in the woods for a little weekend getaway. They've never actually specified how long they stay there, or planning to stay there, does it? Either way, they go there for a little break, and they find a mysterious book in a mysterious looking cellar, and all hell ensues once a few passages are read from it, or they're played on a tape. So,
first thing, right?
Yeah.
My first query
Okay.
throughout all this. We're meant to believe they're fucking teenagers. They literally look like... The one guy looks like my dad. Fucking teen... And if they are teenagers, were people just older back then? Like, did people look older? The fucking gift that he gives his girlfriend is this, like, fucking old-ass chain spyglass that I swear my nan has. Is that just a thing?
What, from everyone over the age of 60?
Well, yeah. Like, were they teenagers?
They're meant to be. They're meant to be uni students. They're all like Michigan State or something.
Fuck
Go,
that noise.
go MS.
But
Go
you
MS,
watch...
that sounded bad.
Yeah, this guy's got a monkey scrotum and he won't shut up about it. What is it? Grease. You watch Grease? Like fucking Danny and Danny Zuko shit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with that. They're meant to be high school students, and John Travolta's got a bad hip, and he's like fucking
balding.
Yeah. What's the one? The fatter one, not Kaneki, but the other one.
I don't know the names of the characters of Grease.
Sure, but people at home do, and you probably know who it is. He is 50 in this film. You know, it's that shot of Mr. Busy at school, and
just like Jimbo.
he's dressed like Jimmy. He's trying to infiltrate. It's like, howdy do, fellow kids. Like,
it's the Steve Buscemi meme.
also the Steve Buscemi meme. So yeah, that's my question. Are we meant to believe these fuckers are teenagers?
You're meant to suspend your disbelief. Yes.
Okay, got it. Second question:
Go.
Was there a script?
I imagine a few words were typed down. I can't imagine there was a full script, and if there was, it probably ended at about page 5.
Right. But I don't know, I feel really bad. I feel like I'm bashing this. We should get on to the really good stuff. But like there was so little dialogue, and the dialogue that was put in was pointless. It was like hard cut shots just to one person to say a line and then cut away, as if like seamless conversations are had when they're driving to the cabin. It was funny, man. It was jokes.
Where he holds the skull up, it's the skull on the end of the knife. His hair looks like your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Great line, mate.
Yeah.
Great line, Scotty. Woo.
Oh, Scotty was a dick.
Oh, he is a fucking absolute douchebag. All right, so bashing the movie aside,
Yeah.
this film is, I mean, it's iconic, it's influential, right? Like, there's so many good reasons why this film is held as one of like just every horror fan's one of their favorite films, or at least one of the favorite franchises. Like, you know, this film pretty much created or at least popularized a subgenre of horror. You know, the Cabin in the Woods. I don't think it was the first to have the setting of a cabin in the woods, but it was the first to really popularize this and do it well.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, is this the sort of the beginning of every other film that's come after it? You know, like any sort of spooky cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
You know, this this heavy friggin' plasticine style ghoul makeup. You know, I saw so many other sort of films that this could have been the influence for. You know,
Totally.
What I mean is, of course, it felt old, but it felt like, old school, done well.
And I mean, of certain horror films that you may have watched here and there before this, like, if you were to rewatch them, you would absolutely see the influence that this film has had on those. And I mean, so much so that you're saying that watching it the other way around, and you can say, oh, actually, this reminds me of a film that I've seen more recently that's obviously been influenced by this.
Straight up, Cabin in the Woods. The Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
So I've watched that. I friggin' loved that.
Yeah.
This is exactly that film.
Well, they recreated the exact cabin, I think, for Cabin in the Woods.
And the whole thing with the bridge was out,
Yeah.
the tunnel was out. Of course, like, the ending is totally different, but, you know, it plays on that classic horror film genre that I guess is...
Yeah. I think
Evil
that
Dead.
the Cabin in the Woods was kind of like an homage to all horror films, but at the core of it was essentially, yes, the Evil Dead, absolutely. And the idea that this film can be looked at now and still... I mean, fuck, you've watched it and you really enjoyed it, right? This film was made on an absolute shoestring of a budget.
No way.
Like, well, obviously. But, like, and just to see how long it's lasted because of that, I think it's just it's a testament to itself about how well... how creative the guys were that were in charge of making it, how good Sam Raimi is as a director.
A nostalgia thing as well, right?
I suppose, yeah.
I liked it because there wasn't... I felt... And maybe it's a more of a modern thing, but there wasn't really any jump scares. They didn't, like, get you with any sort of cheap scares.
No.
You know, even when they had chance to, when it got really quiet, they were going outside or, you know... Besides maybe a couple of times, and I know this is at the end, but when the hands come out from the
grave, yeah.
Not the grave, the trap door in the floor.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's fucking awesome, and that did make me jump. But I just felt it wasn't as jumpy as modern horror films are.
I think modern horror films absolutely rely on the jump scare far too often, out of nowhere as well. You know, it's a cheap and easy way to do it, right? And yeah, I think you're right. This film might not have needed to at the time that it was released, but I mean, fuck me. I mean, can you imagine watching this film in 1981? Like, this film would have fucking petrified you.
Oh yeah,
like it would have shut you right up.
Didn't I read somewhere that it like was banned as well? Didn't they ban it?
Yeah. I don't know what countries, but I think it might even still be banned in some. But like, I think Singapore is always on the list of countries that have banned films. But yeah, it was classed as a video nasty, rated X, rated on the same level of like porno films and shit like that. Just, this is awful watching. We're gonna try and ban it everywhere.
Okay.
If nothing else, the film gifted the world Bruce Campbell, the king of B movies, and the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents incarnate.
The guy had a cracking chin. I'll give him that.
Chiseled.
Wonderful chin. Can't act for shit.
Whoa now.
I'm sorry.
Whoa now.
I'm not necessarily saying him. You know, going on from the fact
he can't
that
act, though.
was there a script? Clearly not at times, but there was. These characters were never even scared.
No.
So right from the word go, okay, there is the girl. She is sat in her room, drawing the grandfather clock. The clock stops. Wind blows in, and all of a sudden she is physically possessed by something. She starts drawing some weird picture on her picture book. She snaps out of that. She's absolutely fine. She just thinks she's had like a little bit of a oops moment. Like she's just, I don't know, like that was a bit weird. Just a little bit of blip.
Just drawn this evil-looking book at me, but yeah,
Yeah.
that happens all the time.
Is that what she drew?
Yeah, she drew the Necronomicon.
I couldn't see that. I was literally like trying to think of what it was. I was like, just looks like fucking my nephew's drawing. Like, he says it's a picture of me, but it's just a fucking bunch of lines, and I'm meant to be grateful. So that's the start. Absolutely fine. She doesn't need. She doesn't even bother mention it to the rest of the guys, right?
Yeah, she does, I think. No, but it's not on camera that she mentions it. She's obviously jittered. She's obviously a little bit worried by it because
She's got the willies slightly.
yeah.
But like I say,
But you would have it more if you'd just been possessed.
we've talked about this, right? I hear a bump in the night, and I'm convinced that's it. It's the poltergeist. We're all doomed. We're dead.
Yeah.
Like fucking cut and run. She has been physically possessed, and she shrugged it off. You know, they've sat round a table and done some weird cheers, and you know they're ready to start partying, and no issue. And this is a theme that goes on throughout.
Yeah.
Again, were people back in the 80s not that scared?
I think it's just probably the filmmaking. Look, we can sit here and poke holes in this film all day. It's a great film nonetheless. But I know which bit you're getting at. It's Bruce Campbell character Ash Williams is sat down on the sofa.
Yeah, they scream somebody screams his name.
And then the Deadite comes through the room and starts attacking Scotty.
And he still hasn't sat
And
up
he
yet.
hasn't stood up off the sofa halfway through the fight.
Yeah.
You just suddenly see Bruce Campbell just like slowly stand. Oh, now you choose to stand.
I can picture the directors in the background, like behind the cameras. You're in shot. You're in shot.
Do something. Wait, is it line? No.
Because the thing is, they can't cut and do it again because they don't have They don't have the money to redo the shot. They haven't.
This is the last reel of film. God damn it.
And you know, I just think it happens quite a few times. You know, Scotty shrugs everything off. Can we talk about the lassie going out into the woods?
Yes, we can,
Right.
of course.
So even when she comes back, Scotty doesn't, overly care, doesn't mind.
don't give a
that
shit.
But this bird has just gone out into the woods. She's been raped.
She has, yeah.
She's been raped by fucking Treebeard and his fucking woodland friends.
Are we drawing another parallel in 3 weeks to Lord of the Rings here?
Quite possibly. She gets gang raped by a load of roots,
Yeah.
by a load of twigs.
Yeah.
And it's brutal. It's brutal. She's like shackled,
Oh, yeah, man.
arms are shackled, legs pulled apart, and this
Evil
little
molesting
sapling.
tree, innit?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's the point I was going to make on the Cabin in the Woods, on the famous paused screen from Cabin in the Woods, which everyone's done, when they're all taking the bets in the headquarters to what's going to come out and kill them all.
Yeah.
And you pause it on the screen of what's available to bet on. I think Evil Molesting Tree is number 3 or something along those lines.
Right. So Treebeard, evil molesting tree.
So Treebeard from Lord of the Rings is a lot of people are wondering where he is right now. He's nowhere to be seen. No comment.
There is a whole load of sexual jokes here. I don't know, like getting wood, friggin' something to do with sap, maybe. I really should have prepared this, written some stuff down, but she gets raped. She gets full-on raped by a tree.
She does.
She runs back to the cabin. Fair enough, she is quite distressed.
Yeah.
Solid acting performance there, but nobody gives a fuck. She has literally got splinters on her vagina, and yet nobody gives a fuck. So yeah, it's just for me, just a complete lack of urgency from anybody. I don't know if
There was a fucking gun as well that only got brought out very late on in the film. There's a gun in the basement which they could have just had with them.
shit ton of shells.
I mean, like, the lassie who's running back in, obviously she's, like, possessed at the time. Maybe it doesn't exhibits the signs of being possessed yet. But you'd have thought if she was still with it and she knew there was a gun downstairs, like, get the fucking rifle. Or at least Bruce Campbell. Come on, man. Scotty ain't doing shit.
So how do they all become possessed?
It's just a case of it passing through. It's a bit loose, that, because you would imagine it comes through from, like, open wounds, cutting you, the roots sapped inside of her, or the roots sat on a wound or something. But then you see Ash Williams get his ankle torn to pieces, and yet he's fine. So I don't really know how it explains how that gets passed over.
But taking it back, they awaken this thing by...
Oh,
Because they don't read the book.
They don't. No. So the cabin they're staying in was there was basically an archaeologist, I think, essentially, that was staying in there, that went to there after finding the Necronomicon, and they play a recording of him reading out the book.
Who, by the way, is also incredibly calm. Him reading out the book, it's like, my wife is possessed, she's a demon, I've had to hack off all her limbs. And he says it with the most stern voice. Like I said, were just people, like, were they just more robust, like, sturdier back then?
I doubt it.
Well, why the fuck was this guy, like, with the perfect radio voice?
It was perfect for radio.
It was a good voice.
We should get him to host this podcast.
It's like,
He's probably dead now.
quite, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he does explain it in the sense that the dead are dormant, they're not gone forever yet, and it's reading the book that brings them back to life, or it kind of awakens something inside of, I guess, the ones that are possessed, and they become the Deadites, or what we now know are called the Deadites. And this is what I quite find funny. The good thing about this entire franchise is combo of things. Number one, how much of a fan of the Three Stooges Sam Raimi is. But then, second to that, where you have this first film, which is a horror film, how comedically slapstick it is. So, it openly says that you can only kill these things by complete dismemberment. So these things are hard as fucking nails. So you just get scenes where they're just wailing on these things, like, with any implement. It's just like a scene in Bottom. It's like Rick Mail getting hit by any implement, like, just like absolutely getting wailed on because they can't kill him. So there's something so slapstick about this film.
Right, because he hits her again, and he hit the second
Oh
one.
yeah, his missus who sat in the doorway doing the little girl la 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 thing. Yeah, he just starts backhanding her left and right, and so. Like, this is not new to people who have seen the franchise, because Ed hasn't, but as the franchise goes on and it gets more comedic, Sam Raimi's love of the Three Stooges really does come out in force. And yeah, the slapstick humour and pain involved is immense. But it's so funny to going back and seeing it in this, which is meant to be an out-and-out horror film. Is
there something in it at all that basically all the women die first as well?
I think that's a very good point, actually. In this, obviously, from the start, Ash Williams is going to be the lead character, so he needs to stay alive to the end.
Of course. And the dick, Scotty, also
is the second to last alive. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know the reasoning behind why the ladies die first in this one.
Are they just scarier ghouls?
I think maybe. I think especially with Ash's. I can't remember her name now, but the lassie who's going out with Ash's character, with Ash, who, we were just saying earlier, she sat in the doorway, she's doing the high pitched girls la 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 thing. I mean, that in itself is quite creepy. I think you creeped out by that.
Yeah, I was. Massive Exorcist vibes to that as well, I found.
Totally. So I think it's maybe something along those lines that. Almost in a time where women were caregivers, and probably that's what they were only seen as, like, to have them be the ones that are actually hunting the men. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that this was some preludes to women's rights, because it definitely wasn't, but, like, maybe it was something along those lines.
Women be scarier.
Women can be scarier.
And also,
There's nothing scary about a college bro zombie, okay?
He was not a college bro.
He was wearing his Michigan State jumper. He was a college bro.
He was a 40-year-old man
He
with
was meant to be a college bro.
perm curtains. He had perm curtains.
So exactly, tell me what is scary about him as a Deadeye.
Very true. I don't know. No, you kind of true. He was just a dick, and I was really surprised that his character lasted as long as it did.
Yeah, true.
You know, it was like kind of the classic, oh, I don't believe you, I'm just here to party type thing, but in the 1980s terms. And
Party Mountain, bro.
didn't really do much for me. So talk me through the order.
Okay, so Ash's sister Cheryl is the one who has an encounter with the evil molesting tree.
Gets tree fucked.
She does. She then gets locked in the basement.
Yes.
So her role is pretty much played throughout just staring through the crack in the floor,
Yes.
right? Then you've got Scott's girlfriend Shelley, who gets taken over next. She that's where there's a very comedic scene where that's where as we were saying, they're wailing on her. They then bury her outside. Then you've got Linda, which is Ash's missus. She then gets taken over,
And the scary...
and she's
Child
the scary
one.
la la la.
Yeah,
la,
so the one they
la.
bury outside, right? She then comes back to life, right?
Cheryl.
Cheryl. Because there's that scene, right? Where they're running back in and they're trying to close the door before she gets to him.
Oh no, I think that is when Shelley escapes from the basement eventually, but at the back end of the film.
Right, okay. But my problem here is when we've seen a couple of times throughout the film that windows have been broken, and windows have been broken very easily in this house.
Oh, they're like sugar glass.
Absolute sugar glass. At least 3 windows. Yet they're safe by closing and locking the cabin door.
Maybe they've got really strong shutters.
Maybe they have.
But maybe the Deadites can't use windows.
Good plot twist. Why not?
Who knows? For me, you've kind of got to. I think you have to judge the Evil Dead by the franchise of it, right? Because the idea that this first film was done so tight budget that the second film was essentially remade. He remade the first one and did it a bit better, you know. And he took along with him a few of these bits. He has running themes and these same scenes that almost play out in all of his sequel films. You know, so. There's always something to do with a mirror, right? In it. So in this one, he puts his hand through it. In
Yes.
the third,
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. I forgot about this. The bit with the mirror.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire film, we're talking fucking scary cabin in the woods. We're talking raping trees. We're talking scary ghoul, zombie, ghost. We're talking Evil Dead. The most scared I saw anybody in the entire film is when Ash puts his hand on that mirror and it turns to liquid. He screams at the top of his lungs. He's shit scared. How is that the scariest thing? Why is that the big scared, scary fucking...
Well, it's defying the laws of gravity. Maybe he's a science major at Michigan State, okay? That is what freaks him out. Who knows? But, like, that, again, that continues on. Like, his hatred of mirrors is therefore portrayed in, like, future films. Like, the one that always stands out for me, just because, I mean... He in the Army of Darkness, the third film, he's in like an abandoned room or whatever it is, and there's a mirror, and he's like, no, I'm not fucking trusting mirrors anymore, and he smashes it, and then
why? Because in case he puts his hand on it,
exactly,
like,
yeah, he just does not trust mirrors.
Maybe he just doesn't like his own reflection.
How could you not with that chin?
It's too big. There's such thing as a too big a chin.
So like the
just because you
the
have
rear
no
view
chin.
Fuck you. That's why I grow a beard. It's like the objects in the mirror may appear larger than they seem.
Yeah, and he sees the biggest.
Here it is, the Crimson Chin.
Look, overall, yeah, I've not seen the franchise. It's the first one I've seen, and I feel like I've taken the piss and poked a lot of holes in it. But like I said from the beginning, I genuinely enjoyed it.
Good.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was stylish, but with this sort of real crappy rustic friggin' edge to it, right?
Totally.
It was creepy, but it wasn't scary. It was outlandish, but fuck it, it can be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was, and I'm sure it was pretty revolutionary for its time. So, yeah, for me, Yeah, I like it.
I think you have hit like the nail on the head there, and the reason why this film, above all others, has lasted so long in the pantheon of great world-renowned horror films. I think everything was just right for this film. You know, the time that it was released in, you know, obviously people were probably more easily scared back then. That this film may not scare people now, but that automatically gave it this big hype about it. You know, being labelled a video nasty, that's going to do you some good down the line, I imagine.
This took me back to the first time that I watched the Michael Jackson Thriller video. I remember the first time I watched that video and thought that I was fucking scared.
What, where his eyes go yellow? Or...
Well, just like all of a sudden she like, turns away and then they're all like taken over by friggin' whatever, the dead. And she runs into the house. I don't know, I just thought it was like kind of like that, looking at it from a child again that found this not so scary shit pretty scary.
I have a question on the Thriller, okay?
Yeah.
I swear, is he a hybrid zombie and werewolf in that? Because I swear at 2 different points, he is a zombie at one point in the dance, but in like the movie theatrical video, he's also a werewolf. Which is he? Pick a fucking side.
Look, at the end of the day, Michael Jackson was a dirty little nonce, and it brings it nicely back around to the Catholic Church.
There we go.
We've done a full cycle, guys. You see, sometimes you think that this is ramblings of utter madmen, but no, there is structure to this madness.
Is there? Speaking of structure, back onto what I was saying, like the budget, I think, for this film is actually one of the reasons why it's lasted so long in people's hearts and in people's minds. Like, when you don't, I think it goes to show, when you don't have money hungry people leaning over you, making sure they're seeing what you're doing with their money, if they've produced your film or they've given money to finance this film, and they're pulling the strings, you are allowing here a pure creative to have full control of his own piece. Like, he has no parameters apart from what his budgetary reasons can stretch to. So, you know, he was allowed to be completely creative and completely free with all of this. I think one of the biggest testaments to that is the camera shots. So in this, you have this again, this camera angle that Sam Raimi loves doing. Again, all of his Evil Dead ones, 2 of them. This wide angle close up shot of someone's face, almost at an angle, like it's kind of slanted a little bit. He does this all the time,
like how most girls do for their Instagram.
Sam Raimi started that trend, okay?
Okay.
What they called the shaky cam, which is when they basically just strapped a camera to themselves and they started running through the woods. You know, it's the first person shot of, you don't know what this thing is, but there's something there. It's acting like it's a person, you know?
Kind of like The Happening.
Oh my god.
Again, full circle.
I mean, with that, there is bad angle shots. So you allow a creative to be too creative and he will start putting some shit. But you got to do the bad with the good, I think.
Yeah. What sort of budget are we talking? Like, okay, I'm not expecting you to pull a figure out, but are you talking like, I don't know, relative to other films being made at the time? I mean, was this like hundreds of pounds compared to the thousands and thousands that Hollywood were pumping out type thing?
Well, I am not going to for 1 second pretend that I pulled this one out of my head or arse. So thank you, Google. Quick search for this. Going into Google, $350,000. $350,000.
Right.
So, I mean, does that mean it's a lot more now? What that amount of money would be worth now? Probably so, but fuck, I mean, horror film budgets are in the millions.
Oh yeah, I mean, blockbuster movies these days would be
ridiculous.
Yeah, millions.
And this thing gross, like the box office brought back over a couple of mil for this, like, so. You know, fucking Sam Raimi's in the fucking money here. Right, so I don't, unlike the last couple of weeks, I don't really have a film theory for this one. Like, as we said, not every horror film has to have deep meaning or any meaning for that matter.
Or yes, or they don't have any meaning whatsoever and people are looking too fucking hard.
Yes, exactly. People are, well, here we go. People looking too hard for meaning.
I like the fact that this one doesn't potentially have any meaning. It's just fucking Evil Dead for the fucking reason of there being Evil Dead fucking things.
It absolutely is. It entirely is. I am not about to shit on anything about that. This is more directors trying to hook their shitty sequel bandwagon onto the Evil Dead hype train.
Sick.
So I think it's Friday the 13th. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, I think is what it's called. It definitely wasn't The Final Friday. There was a few more after that, but I think this is the 9th.
I smell
Sequel?
Apology Corner.
Oh God, yeah. So off the top of my head, I think it's the 9th sequel in that franchise.
9 fucking sequels.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure 8, Friday the 13th, 8 is Jason Takes Manhattan. And then I think, therefore, 9 is the one after that, which is what they said in inverted commas, The Final Friday, Jason Goes to Hell, I think. So the director of, we're going to say 9, we're just going to call it Jason Goes to Hell. He did try and hitch his wagon to the hype train of The Evil Dead by trying to claim that Jason is a Deadite. So the Deadites are what's brought back to life in this film by reading the passage of the Necronomicon, and he claimed that it was Jason's mother who wanted to bring her son back to life after he died in Camp Crystal Lake. So read from the Book of the Dead, brought Jason back to life, and now Jason is a Deadite and can't be killed, but obviously put to rest and then wakes up again all the time. I think even to the point where in the film, I think you can see the Necronomicon in a scene in Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay.
Absolute fucking bullshit. It's a way for him to get his shitey sequel, trying to get any kind of publicity. I guess is what's happened there. But no, there is no deep meaning to this. Dead things are evil. Bruce Campbell's chin is wonderful.
Don't trust trees. Honestly, imagine being raped by a fucking cedar. A fucking monkey puzzle. If you had to be fucked by any tree, what tree would it be?
I would.
I'm going to go beech.
Why beach?
Small and smooth.
Okay. Not sure I want to answer this question.
You'd go like with an old oak or something, wouldn't you?
Ancient oak tree. I mean, it'd be polite, wouldn't it? It's old. It's English. Right, Ed. Moving on. Weekly films need a weekly review. So, what are you giving this?
On the Porohodcast scare rating, I am giving The Evil Dead, although it is my favourite film so far, 2 thumbs up. I'm going to have to give it a Disney princess.
Ooh!
I'm giving it a level 1. Dude, I wasn't scared.
Disney princess.
I was a little bit jumpy, but, you know, given the fact that I gave The Babadook 2,
Yeah.
this has to be lower. So
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
it's not overly scary. I liked it. I thought it was cool, but yeah, definitely Ilsa and/or Anna.
Well, you heard it here first. Evil Dead is a Disney princess, according to Ed. So thank you for that. Nice one then. So long as no one reads from the Necronomicon, we can leave the Evil Dead to rest for a little bit longer and move on. Mate, I've had that one in my back pocket for a week. Oh,
like genuinely, we cannot talk between films because otherwise he'd blurt this out.
we literally.
How do you keep these things quiet from me?
We don't talk to each other on days just in case we say something funny.
It's getting annoying. We'll honestly start a conversation like at lunch or something and talk about shit that we think is really funny, and one of us will be like, no, stop, save it for the podcast.
We need everyone to believe that we're funny. Trust us, we're funny.
They don't think we're funny.
Nah, probably not.
What have we got if we're not funny though? We're definitely not the fucking most accurate and informative horror podcast out there.
Yeah, but that's our style, isn't it?
Categorizers. What's our niche? We're shit at everything. Jack of all trades, master of none.
There we go. I'm happy with that. Can we put that on the tagline, please?
Mm-hmm.
So, next week, episode number 4, we are going to take our first listener request for a film. So this one has come from Eve Khan.
Hi, Eve.
For all you Star Trek nerds.
I love Star Trek.
Don't.
I'm a big... No, I am. Fucking Luke Skywalker and the gang. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah. You try and wind me up with that all the time. But you know what? Do you know what would help?
What?
If I was a Star Trek nerd, and I'm really
You
not.
used to buy loads of this.
I've grown up. So, request from Eve Khan. We're going to do the 2008 film.
Before you say it, I've not agreed to this.
What? Agreed to what? Watching horror films? What the fuck do you think you're doing here?
We have, but you know, we did mention taking suggestions
Yeah.
from people, not necessarily letting them pick the films.
We're not going to do it every week.
Okay.
We're just going to do it We're going to do it every now and again. We'll take. Well, if we get inundated by
By
3
Eve.
messages
by Eve.
Eve's
She's requested
messages,
3 more.
or requesting for one film, then yeah, we might do that film. But please do send your requests in. They will get read, and the majority of them are already on my list. It's just a case of which ones we pick.
Okay.
So we are going with a listener request this time round. So we're doing the 2008 film Eden Lake.
Not the foggiest.
Not hey.
Hey.
So this film has got.
Bit us out, innit?
Oh, nice.
So you wouldn't get that if you went to fog.
Props to all my fogs out there. James. So we're Eden Lake. This film has got 79% on Rotten Tomatoes and 6.8 on IMDb.
That's more like it. That's where I expect a horror film to be on IMDb.
A solid 6.8 is quite high for
6.8
IMDb.
is quite high, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, if you're a horror film coming in at over 6, then
You're doing something right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
It's got I think Michael Fassbender, and it's got what's that dude from Skins and Unbreakable?
Oh, Cook.
Yeah, that dude. Jack O'Connell.
Mm.
Jack O'Connell is in this. Plays it.
Oh, he's badass in Unbreakable.
He is pretty good. He plays a hoodlum in this. Absolutely.
Wait, Unbreakable?
yobbo.
It's not Unbreakable. No, it's Godless. Oh, did you see Godless?
Oh, Godless was fucking sick, man. Yeah,
Fucking
it was
love
really
that.
good.
Love me a Western.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Can we do a podcast on Western films next?
We can find a Western horror film.
Oh, all day.
I'll do some
all
digging.
day.
I'll do some
Cowboys versus fucking Predators.
digging. So long as it's not Cowboys versus Aliens.
I thought that film was good.
You and no one else.
No, right?
So there we go. Yeah, we are doing Eden Lake.
Are you going to give me no teaser?
No,
Nothing.
I've told you Jack O'Connell and Michael Fassbender are in it.
It means nothing.
It's about yobbos. It's about utes. Absolute
Utes.
utes.
All right, I'm thinking like Attack the Block then now. Yeah, so tune in next week to hear the review on Eden Lake.
Eden Lake.
Eden Lake. Please watch along. I hope you've been doing that as we go. We've had a few messages from friends already saying that they've been doing it, watching along, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want. Let us know what you think about this episode, previous episodes. Get us on Instagram, Porohodcast. Give us a like. Please do follow, share, whatever, our episodes on Spotify and YouTube. Hopefully added to Apple soon.
Ooh, yeah. Getting that sweet, sweet money from Apple.
Yeah. Money. Do people actually get paid for podcasts?
Do they? Oh, some might.
Do you need? How many listeners do you need? Are we talking in like the millions?
Probably.
Because I think we're about 1 million short.
All right. Are we minus? Can you get minus listeners?
You know, it gives you analytics of like, you know, you've had like 100 listeners this week, but 99 of them clicked off after like 3 minutes.
It's just the same on YouTube.
Oh, but that's just when our intro finishes.
Oh wait, guys, where you go? Where you go?
No, it's been like genuinely pretty overwhelming to see how many people have been listening, people have been sharing. We said it on the previous episode, but thank you so much for your messages and support. We're just trying to have some fun, kind of like a hobby to do during lockdown like most, but shit, we're enjoying it. You've got it by now, but we're on Instagram, Porohodcast. You can find us on Spotify and on YouTube. Big shout out and a thank you to our friends Will Gregson and to Good Friend. Check them out. Will Gregson does our cover art. Check him out, Will Gregson Design, getting so much love for that. And Good Friend for our intro and outro music. Cheers, guys. Love that music. Good Friend Band. Get them on Instagram and Bandcamp. Yeah, shit. Another week down.
Is that unnecessary swear again? Shit.
Shit, you'll watch it. Fuck you.
Fuck you, man.
We put ourselves down as an explicit podcast.
I fucking hope so.
So we're allowed to. We can get away with it.
Shit, ballsack, wanker.
Sp-
I will have bleeped it out again.
Thank you very much, guys. We will see you again, hear us again next week.
Cheers. Ta-ra.
Ta-da.
Time again.
doing to this pillow?
Just cuddling it.
Do you whisper sweet nothings to it as you spoon it?
No, I do not whisper sweet
Do
nothings
you
to it.
spoon it or do you cuddle it?
Yes, I spoon it.
Well, you full on spoon
What's
it.
the difference?
Well,
Cuddling is when you get something back, surely.
yeah. So do you wrap it round you and cuddle it?
No.
No.
I might. No, but what I do, I often, if I'm feeling really, I want to feel like safe and secure, like put two pillows very close either side of me. Do you know how you do, like you're meant to do with babies so they don't roll away?
So what? So you're spooning one and being spooned by another. So
Exactly.
you're the lucky Pierre.
I am the lucky Pierre. I'm the meat. I'm the meat between two loaves of bread. But yeah. What? Everyone has a cuddle pillow.
Of course. No, I spoon a pillow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird. I'm just saying it's quite lumpy, which is why I
What do you
picked that
call it?
one.
Does it have a name?
It does not have a name.
A lumpy pillow.
Yeah, yeah.
What's lumpy?
Where's my lumpy pillow? I call it Rose. She'll never listen.
I'm not editing that out.
She'll never listen.